It's been an extremely challenging year for all of us, as we've now reached 1 full year of the COVID pandemic. But there is hope, and we will all get through this. So let your hopes, not your hurt, shape your future. Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Asian Sunday. So last week you met the beautifully talented young Salma Zaman. Wasn't she amazing? Our youngest guest, our most brightest and very confident. Now, we thought that if we've now met junior, we've got to meet senior. So guess who I've got on the sofa today? Yes, you're right. It's Amber's mum. Hi, Salma.
Hi, Fatima.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So what have you been up to? I've known you for a long time. Decades, I'd probably say. Now that's saying something about our ages. But anyway, and that was the first time I actually met your daughter last week.
It was.
Isn't she amazing?
She is amazing.
You've kept her hidden.
Yeah.
She's so talented.
She is.
Got her own book out as well.
I know, isn't that amazing?
It's
and
fantastic.
She's only, yeah, when she got my lockdown poems out, she was 8 because we had them delivered on her birth date.
Oh, wow.
Because we made sure that happened because it would have been a special memory. And she's, so she's only just turned 9. But yeah, for an 8-year-old to write a book and about poetry during lockdown for inspiration for other young children, I think it's incredible.
You must be so proud.
I'm very proud of Amber. She reminds me a little bit of me, actually. She is the get up and go kind of a girl.
Yeah.
Very proud of her.
Well, she did tell us in an interview, and I'm sure you've probably watched it now, but she's that much of her dad and she's that much of her mum. Do you agree?
Well, yeah. Dad is wonderful, but he's not very creative. He's very DIY creative, whereas we are very writing, drawing, creative that way. Yeah. So I think that's what Amber meant.
Well, she's probably right because you're an author yourself as well, aren't you, of children's books. Tell us a little bit about that because I know you more as something else and we're going to come on to that. Tell us a little bit about the books and you've kindly brought some for us as well.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you went into that and what gave you the inspiration to write for children.
Okay. Well, I always wanted to write a book, a children's book. And I thought I can only write about something that I feel confident about. And obviously that was dance and creative movements, which I'm very confident with. And that inspired me to then write my first children's book, which is Bollywood Princess.
Oh, wow.
So this is about a little girl and her dreams. So it's about hope, aspirations, and not giving up. So yeah, my dancing, because I was really skilled and prepped in what I was doing. So that formed the inspiration for this book.
So I like the fact that you've used the word Bollywood in there, Salma. It's what I've known you as, your former profession. And obviously that seems to me like an inspiration for you to move into and use it for your book. Tell us a little bit about those former years as well.
The former years, they were they were incredible actually, lots of fun. I was just starting out I think it was in 2005, going back a little bit, although prior to that I was teaching, but I wanted to teach regular, consistent classes. And I think that's how I met you as well. And so I started teaching Bollywood, street Bollywood, Bhangra, ladies keep fit, the works. It was brilliant 5 years. Very, very busy, jam-packed.
It was pretty much, wasn't it? I remember those early years. I mean, I never joined any of your Bollywood classes, but I used to watch what you used to do. And what always, a question that I always had in my mind was, especially back in those days, we're talking like 15, 20 years ago, you as a Muslim woman living in Yorkshire was teaching people Bollywood dance classes. And You know, there's a particular stereotype of what a Bollywood star looks like as well, a Bollywood actress looks like. And you didn't conform to any of those stereotypes. You broke those stereotypes, in fact. And you taught people, and your classes were so popular that you even had big soap stars approach you and come to your house, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But how did you manage to convince your family to let you do something like this? Because there must have been so many taboos. There must have been, you know, especially coming from a Muslim background, because it's not the done thing, is it? Especially for women to go into entertainment, so to speak, into song and dance.
I think my family were very supportive. They still are till this day. I think my husband in particular was extremely supportive. Had he said, Salma, you know, that's not something that I am going to appreciate, let's kind of knock it on the head, then that would have been a different story. Mind you, before we got married, I was teaching quite a lot then as well. And I think for me, it was also my passion and my dedication. And I didn't see Bollywood dancing as a bad thing or as something that's not respectful. Because when I taught the Bollywood kids, they would experience the correct dance terminology, the physical movement terminology, like, you know, we're going to stand in parallel position, pull your tummy in, relax your shoulders to the back, and we're stretching to the right, and we're working in canon, unison, we're doing a soft movement, or we're doing a jagged canon. So I was kind of exposing and enhancing the learning experience, not just of the children, but the women as well. So for me, it was more like an education rather than seeing it as Bollywood dancing, which might be a taboo subject within the Muslim community. So, and I think that that was, yeah, that's what I thought about, and that's what I was pushing forward. And yeah, it's just how you see it as well. I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm teaching a room full of 30 women, everyday women that get up, they cook, they clean, they may look after their husbands, you know, they look after their children, then they need something where they can have their own release, whether it's keeping fit to that Bollywood music, whether they're doing their Bhangra shoulders, it doesn't matter. They needed that. And we still, as women, we still do, you know, whether it's going to the gym. And I also saw it as a form of exercise, as form as a workout. Because I did my exercise to music as well. So I used to adapt to the movements and create a workout. So most of the women used to come for the workout. They absolutely used to love it.
I can imagine, because Bollywood's always seen as a bit of escapism, isn't it? So your workouts, you've already got the, you know, romantic songs or whatever the songs are for Bollywood playing. So you already feel that escapism. So it's good for mental health. Absolutely. And then obviously you got the moving. So, you know, it's a win-win really, isn't it?
It is,
and that's probably why you've been so successful with it.
Thank you, Fatima. Yeah, absolutely a win-win situation. And, you know, it works wonders for your mental, you know, your overall well-being, and just getting rejuvenated and recharging your batteries, you know, and releasing those happy hormones. And you do feel great, you know, with the sweaty faces and, you know, red cheeks and hair all over the place. It doesn't matter, you know. Yes, it's Bollywood music. Yes, we're moving and grooving to it, but we're grooving it for ourselves in a closed environment, safe environment, women only, no men allowed.
Yeah, amazing. Speaking of no men allowed, you did attract some very famous personalities, didn't you? I think that's how we met. You invited me when this famous personality came, and he was one of your judges for your little kids who were teaching, or you were teaching Bollywood dancing, and soap stars have been big fans of yours. In fact, you've even had to go and choreograph for a big soap's wedding. But before we get to that, let's talk about this man, this famous man that absolutely loves your work.
Oh.
Can you guess who I'm talking about?
I think so. Coronation Street?
Yes, Coronation Street. What, Dev?
Dev, Jimmy Harkishnin.
And you know him? Exactly,
yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Tell us about your friendship with him.
Well, I met Jimmy when we were asked to perform and choreograph for Coronation Street as part of their Christmas special some years ago. And I went along and I took 3 of my wonderful dancers, and we spent the whole day on the cobblely street. It was a wonderful experience. We even danced through Kevin's garage as well. It was amazing. There's me like touching everything. I've touched that and I've touched that. And you know, the famous red letterbox, I touched it.
Ooh, I can't touch you at the moment, otherwise I'd touch your hands. COVID.
I know, I was thinking I would have got in there if I could, just to say, yeah, I've touched that. But yeah, we met Jimmy there. because our role was with Jimmy, and he was wonderful. And I still remember when he asked me a little bit about what we do, and I was explaining to him, and he actually offered, what he said was that, Salma, you know, when you do any community events, if you'd like me to come and support you, I'd be more than honoured. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I thought, what a great honour for me, you know, that this lovely man is saying that. And then, of course, we had the Bollywood Dance Championships, and some of the Bollywood kids and the Bollywood Tiny Tots, and some of the ladies did some performances. And Jimmy came along with some other celebrities from TV as well, journalists. And yeah, he helped us judge the competition. Very lovely man, been to my house a few times, took me for a spin in his wonderful car.
So what is Jimmy? What is Jimmy like compared to Dev on screen? Are they similar?
I think Jimmy's a lovely, lovely man in real life as well. You know, obviously he's playing his character on screen. Sometimes it can be a bit shifty with his character, I think, but he's not like that in real life. What you see is what you get. And he's very homed into his community as well. He wants to get involved, and he wants to see the little ones do well. Because I remember after the little ones were performing, and he said, this is what makes me proud of my heritage. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Amazing. And there was another one as well, wasn't there? Shubna?
There was, the lovely, wonderful Shobna Gulati, who played Sunita.
Yeah.
I was at my mother's house, and I got a call, and she said, it's, hi Salma, it's Shobna Gulati. And me, silly me, I went, oh, hi, what can I do for you? I was like
Classic Salma.
I know. I was like, what can I do for you? And then she says, well, you know, Jimmy's given me your number, and I was just wondering, can you teach me some Bollywood dancing? Because they had this massive Coronation Street charity event. And anyway, to cut a long story short, she came to my house a few times, and yeah, we created some choreography together. And then on the night of the performance, I couldn't perform because I was expecting, and I says, oh, you know, that I couldn't be part of that, but my dancers, you know. So we all went, and it was lovely because I was sat on this massive table, and Sunita was there, and all these other you know, soap actors and actresses from Coronation Street was there. And I remember when I went to the ladies, and when I turned around, Kim Marshall was there, and I just went, oh, and she went, hello, like that. So it was good fun, yeah, good experience.
Amazing. And apart from British soap stars, you've rubbed shoulders with Bollywood itself.
Yes, the wonderful Vahida Rahman ji. Again, many years ago, I from one of my wonderful contacts said, Vahida Rahman is coming. Would you, you know, perform? And I thought, oh gosh, I was nervous though, because she's brilliant dancer. Anyway, there was about 300 people there, maybe a bit more actually, and I did 2 solo pieces. And then afterwards, she actually commented, and she said that, Salma, you're a wonderful dancer. That was amazing. Well done. And I was like, I can't believe it. She just said that to me, because she is so known for her classical hand gestures and her mudras and everything. Yeah, proper legend. A legend that my parents, you know, like that song, Jaudavi Ka Chand Ho.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, you know, just talks about her classic beauty, and I'm thinking, and I'm stood there, and I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, gosh, I'm stood with this wonderful lady. Yeah.
Amazing. What was it like then? So did you ever get jittery before going and performing live? Because this wasn't a rehearsal.
No.
This wasn't a recording that you're showing her. This was you live performing in front of a legend who's been in, you know, many Bollywood films. How did you
How did I compose?
How did you prepare yourself? Yeah. And how did you absolutely compose yourself to go in front of somebody like that and perform?
I think I do a lot of meditation. Meditation is, I just absolutely love meditation. I just breathe in, breathe out to 10, and I'm done. That's it, I'm done. I'm sorted. So that helps me a lot. But I'm quite a calm person anyway. In myself, I'm quite a calm person. But I must admit, it doesn't matter how calm you are. You know, when you are performing, whether it's live or you're pre-recording, you do have those jitters. And that's part of it. I've always had those, because I do a lot of things, you know, when I'm in front of the camera, you always get that. And that's not a bad thing, I think, sometimes. I think it just keeps you on your toes. But once the music starts, I've got my starting position, and I'm going for it. That's it, there's no stopping me. I'm in the role then. You know, and I just see it through, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And then to get a compliment from Wahida Rahman at the end of it, that must
And
have
she
been
said,
the icing.
she went like this, and I've got this all on camera, right? And she's like, where's Salma? And I'm like, I'm here. She says, come and have your picture taken with me.
Wow. Wow.
That was just like, I was like, oh.
Were your feet on the ground?
Or
you know, flying somewhere?
No, I was just a bit like thinking, wow, you know.
And Wahida Rahman is not the only one. It's not just British soap stars. There's another star as well, isn't there, that you've had a run-in or a bump-in with?
The wonderful Donny Osmond from the Osmond brothers.
And he had his arm around you as well.
He did, yes. Right here. That spot there, Fatima.
Oh, God. Salma, you know this COVID thing, I can't touch you, I can't go anywhere near you. But
I'll take you a picture of this and I'll WhatsApp it to you, don't worry.
Thank you very much. So tell us, what was that like? What did you talk about?
It was really fun because I got a call from one of my contacts within the BBC, and she said, lovely lady called Zoe, and she said, Salma, would you like to appear on this show? And it's such a funny story because I was so extremely busy, Fatima, and I remember I was driving, our hands-free, and I was like, oh, Zoe, you know something, I'm so busy, I don't know if I'm coming or going, da-da-da-da. I said, who's presenting it? She goes, Donny Osmond, and I says, count me in. No, I'm like,
no one's going to refuse.
I don't know, I'm not going to refuse that, and I says, count me in. It was a wonderful day. It was part of his show called Identity, and there was about 10 of us, and the contestant had to guess our roles. So obviously I went in as a Bollywood teacher. And Donny Osmond was wonderful, a true gentleman, lovely teeth, of course. And yeah, so I managed to get a picture with him at the end of it as well. And in fact, I think Bonnie Langford was there as well. She was in the other room. So there was quite a few celebrities kind of working on several other projects, but that was lovely.
That's amazing. So you started off Bollywood dancing, teaching, meeting all these famous people, to then becoming famous yourself with your own books. Now you're an author. You're a published author.
Published author.
Published author that's making waves, inspiring your own daughter as well. Do you ever look back at your journey and do you ever reflect and do you ever think about all your achievements?
I don't. It's funny that because sometimes when I meet people, they will always say, "Oh my gosh, Salma, it's believe it or not, this is true," and they'll say, "It's so lovely to meet you, and you've done so much." And for some reason, I don't know why, but I never sit down and reflect because I think, for me as a person, if I sat back and reflected, I might find it a bit overwhelming. So I just go with the flow, and that's literally what I do. Even published 4 books now, which I'm very proud of, and Greedy Gertie, my 3rd book, we've got that in Braille as well now, which I've got here with me.
Oh, wow.
Especially to show you this one. Yeah. So I'm very proud of this, and we've now got an audio CD as well.
Brilliant.
And guess who there's lots of characters in here, animal sounds. Who makes the animal sounds? Take a guess.
Not you, is it?
No. Can you imagine that? That'd be so hilarious. Amber.
Amber, oh wow.
Amber Zaman, yeah. So she helped me to prepare this. And yeah, so for me, what I'm really proud of, and the thing maybe I do reflect on actually, is that someone that is visually impaired or may have some challenges in hearing, this is it for me, the Braille, the audio CD, coming out from my book, Greedy Gertie, about a cow in a wheelchair actually. And for me, it's about inclusivity, and that is what I reflect on. I think when I take things on and I think, how can I be inclusive? How can I ensure that everyone, or as much as possible, can be included and no one is excluded? But I'm writing a novel as well. Do you remember I told you?
Yes, you have, and I'm so honoured and privileged that you've sent me your first 2 pages. So
my gosh,
I am going to be giving you a review on that very soon.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that Fatima's going to give me a review. That's going to be amazing, Fatima. I can't wait, honestly. I've been working on that for about in total 2 years, but I've just started writing it. I've done quite a lot of writing in the lockdown as well. So 2 chapters are done and dusted. So another 2 are like kind of in the making, almost done, just little tweaks here and there. Yeah. So that's a true story. So it's inspired by true facts and events.
Amazing. I'm loving the cover. You know, the cover that you sent, that's just so powerful. Yeah.
Say no.
So powerful. So. I can't wait for you to share it with the rest of the world. I'm already like really excited for you. But one thing I want to ask you, Salma, obviously Bollywood dancing, and you've done lots, you also work for the council, but when did you discover your talent for writing? When did you discover that you could produce and create amazing characters for children, firstly, and obviously now going on to writing for adults?
I think it was when I had my second daughter, Farah, and I was on maternity leave, and I was like, because I'm kind of the person that needs to be doing something all the time. So I like to have my fingers in a lot of pots. I've always been like that because I get bored very easily. And then I thought, what can I do next while I'm on maternity? You know, I should be enjoying my little baby and thinking about, you know, the feeds and things like that. But I was like, what can I do? And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to write a book now. That's what I'm going to do. And that's literally what I did. And in fact, the Bollywood princess, to cover my overheads in the first week, I made a massive profit, but I covered my overheads and everything. So if I never sold another copy, I'm still done and dusted and sorted.
Amazing. Well done.
It was just like the best experience ever. Yeah, best experience ever.
Now, you mentioned that it was whilst you were expecting your daughter. We had your daughter on the show last week, and she was a bit confused how many people were in your family. Yeah. So I thought this is a great opportunity to have you here now to clarify how many are there in your family? Who's in your family?
So there's 7 of us. There's myself, my husband, and there's my daughters, and then I have 1 son. But I think Amber was including Milo.
Which is your cat.
Which is our cat.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so
then
that makes it 8 members.
That's 8, yeah. So then, yeah.
And can I just say, she put Milo before all of you. The cat was first.
The cat always comes first in that house, no matter what. I mean, my teenage daughter, Zara, she'll come down and she'll carry it like if it's a newborn baby. Aww. It's just like, and she's so attached to him. And as soon as she comes in, whether she's been shopping, whether she's been at college, obviously not now because we're in lockdown, first thing, where's Milo? Normally, in our days, it'll be, where's Mum? But now it's, where's Milo?
Where's Milo?
Forget about the cat. What about me? Honestly, like, where's Milo, Mum? That's all she's interested in.
The cat clearly provides.
Yeah, they love that little
So tell us about your other 2 daughters. What do they do and how old are they?
Yeah, so Farah's at York University. Well, obviously not now. And she's studying languages. She eventually wants to travel to Korea. And Zara is at college, obviously working from home. She's doing law and business and sociology. And then, and Aman's at school, but obviously not now. And yeah, Amber's at school, but she's at
writing
home
books.
As well. Busy writing books. I think, in fact, today I bought her a little writing pad for her next project. And Lila, who's 6, wants to write as well. But I think she's still a bit young. Because obviously when the child writes, they need a mentor, don't they?
Yeah.
So I've made the assessment as Lila's mother that she's still a bit young. So I'm just going to leave it. Maybe we might work with Amber on her next project. We'll see.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Oh, exciting. I'm excited for you. Now, it's been such an amazing time catching up with you because it's been decades, hasn't it? Literally when we last met. So it's been lovely learning about what you've all done. But before we end this show, I've always wanted, and I never had a chance to join your Bollywood classes. And I thought, when I get her on my sofa, I'm going to make sure I ask her for some tips and I ask her to show me a few moves. Obviously, because we're in COVID, we haven't got much space, so might have to be a little bit restricted in terms of what you can show me. But is there anything that you can show somebody like me that's completely a non-dancer, non into that creative world? What tips can you give us?
Tips, okay. Well, I always say to the students, if it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. And also, nobody will know, only you will know. So you've got to pretend you haven't gone wrong.
I do that all the time. That's normal for me.
So for
That'll be easy then.
That'll be easy. So for example, if we meant to do this and
Yeah.
somebody does that,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You know,
Right.
pick it up, observe the other students around you. Or your teacher is always, you know, a good teacher will be able to assess that anyway and say, okay, this is how we do it, kind of thing. And you know, sometimes the poor little kids, when they get something wrong, they get, oh, miss, I got that wrong. It doesn't matter. It's not important. This is a journey. We're going to do it together. So let's break the steps and let's start from here and let's develop it. Yeah. So just going back to the education part, to me, it's the development, it's a journey, it's a learning curve. But I have got some movements for you.
Good. Because look, presentation.
Wonderful presentation.
I've made sure that, you know, have I dressed to impress you,
You
Salma?
have. You look wonderful. You always look wonderful. I've always said that about you, though.
Aww,
okay, simple move. You're welcome.
Should have you all the time.
You should. Okay, so anyone can do this. Yeah. You can try at home from your own couch. So Fatima, this is so easy. We've only got 4 movements to do, okay? And we're doing it sitting down, so we don't need to stand up, okay? So give me a flat hand and keep your fingers nice and long and apart. Brilliant. Give me a wave. Excellent. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. Okay, so your thumb comes here. And, you know, like, just pretending you're putting your mask on. Whew. Whew. There you go. Okay, put your mask on.
Mask on.
Okay, and twist those little knots that you get in your mask. Okay, so put your mask on and twist the knot. Okay, so mask on, twist the knot. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Classical hand.
I think I've got it all wrong again.
I love it. It's fine. And you know what? It's not.
And you said if you get it wrong to forget.
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
It. Okay.
We move on. Okay. So we've gone da, da, da.
Okay. Da, da, da.
Perfect. Classical hand.
Da, da. Ooh.
Yeah. So them light bulbs that everyone talks about. Yeah. Okay. So this is also called a lotus flower blooming in Bharatanatyam. So this is it.
You know, that's not easy to do, you know.
No, it's not.
You make it look so easy, but it's not easy.
It does. It works your fingers.
It does.
Yeah. It's good for prevention of arthritis. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so we've gone recap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Nip it in the bud. There you go. 1. Nip it in the bud. Da-da.
I'm sure I'm going to get laughed at.
You know, you're doing brilliantly. Well done. Okay, so shall we have a go together after 3?
So just show me once more.
Of course. Of course. Here we go.
So.
Should we do it slower?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay. So.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Elbow out. Relax your shoulder.
Do like this.
That's it. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Lots of practice for me.
Perfect. Well done.
But thank you so much, Salma. That was amazing. My arms already feel a bit loose. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here today. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And thank you so much for bringing in your books.
Thank you.
I can't wait to read your novel. And I'm hoping that you do some online Bollywood classes for us all so we can carry on this Bollywood journey. And I wish you every success with everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatima. It's been an honour and a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you.